Are you ready for this? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Super excited to get this started. All right, very important, you'll need a scale and we're gonna measure everything by grams, okay? And obviously a small bowl. You'll need your flour, whether you're gonna use bread flour or all-purpose flour. Consistency may be a little bit different, but I've tried it both ways and they both turned out perfectly fine in the end. And you're gonna need room temperature filtered water as well with salt. Oops, salt. And I would say, star of the show is your beautiful starter. So I actually had starter sitting in the fridge for several weeks because I wasn't planning on making any bread anytime soon. I took it out this morning. I kept 20 grams of the refrigerated starter and I fed it 20 grams. And this all happened within 6 hours. Beautiful. Amazing. So just to kind of give you an idea of how much it rised, it started from this bottom line right here, my pinky is. And within 6.5 hours or so, look at it now. It's gorgeous. It smells amazing. I'm so excited to start using it. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, we're gonna put your flour in here. And I'm gonna get a little spoon. All right, so we are gonna use 250 grams of all-purpose flour. And then I'm actually going to add in white whole wheat flour from King Arthur. So we're gonna do 50 grams of whole wheat. All right, so in total, you're gonna have 300 grams of flour. Then we're gonna wanna put 38 grams of starter. So we're just gonna take our starter. Make sure you zero out your scale, okay? That way you have the exact measurements. All right. And I do apologize when I have these crazy long pauses. I'm still learning to multitask and talk and cook at the same time. Look how beautiful this is. Usually I would be grossed out, but I've learned to really appreciate my starter. Woo! All right. So that is about 38, 39. It's okay that it's a little bit more. All right, I'm just gonna wash my hands and dry my hands. To this, we are going to add 8 grams of salt. So again, always zero out so you know exactly how much you're adding. And then the only thing that you have left is water. So we're gonna do 70% hydration. So 70% times the 300 grams of flour gives you 210 grams. So that's exactly what we're gonna measure. Zero out your scale again and then pour in 210 grams of water. So basically that is all. Isn't that awesome? It's so easy. The probably toughest part is activating your starter. Other than that, it's so simple. We're gonna go ahead and just take one of these spatulas that I spoke about in my banana muffin video. It comes in all different sizes, so this is a much smaller size and I love using these. I think I'm probably gonna leave a link down below in case you're curious to know which one I bought exactly, but I love them. All right, so we want to just carefully fold in and mix everything together. You can use your hands. It's gonna be messy, but it definitely will help with the mixing much faster if you were to use your hands. And so, you know what? I think I'm actually gonna use my hands. I usually do. I was just trying to stay a little bit neater today, but that's not gonna happen. We're baking. It's real life. So I'm gonna scrape off the dough that I have here on my spatula and then just go in it. Just massage it. There's a lot of flour on the bottom, but that's okay because as you're massaging your dough, you'll notice it'll start getting more wet, and then those areas can basically soak up that flour. And then as you're doing this, you just want to make sure you're grabbing all the bits around the bowl. All right. So one of the major things with mixing with your hand, it gets pretty messy because it's so slimy. But you know what? That's okay because, oh my god, this is how crazy slimy it is and sticky. I can literally pick up, hold the dough, and the bowl wouldn't even drop. This is super helpful to have. This is like a bread dough scraper. So I like to use this to kind of help get all that dough off of my hands. So we're gonna do just that. I think we mix it quite a bit. Starter is spread out. Uh-oh, I forgot I ordered food, so I'm gonna go get that right now. Or they might actually just leave at the door. I just DoorDash some food and
milk tea. I love milk tea.
with boba and grass jelly. So delicious. Okay, so once you have that all off of your hands, you're gonna probably add more to your hands. But what I'm doing here is scooping underneath and folding it over. And I'm just gonna spin the bowl as I do this, just to kind of get it slightly into a neater looking dough. And it kind of helps scrape like all the bits on the side. You definitely don't need to make it sure it's like super clean. Like my dough is not, my bowl isn't crazy clean. That's fine. And this is pretty much as clean as I usually get my bowl to be. And then you're pretty much done for this phase. So what you want to do now is take a lid. If you have like one of these pan lids, you can put them over. This one so happens to fit it so perfectly. So you just want to put it over. Sometimes I like to drape like a towel over that and just let it rest. Alright, so wasn't that easy? Literally all you needed was flour, starter, salt, and water. Flour, starter, salt, and water. And that's pretty much your dough. So we're gonna let it rest about 30 to 35 minutes. All right, everyone. So now that your dough has rested for at least 30 minutes, we're gonna now have clean hands, of course. We're gonna take the dough out and we are going to do what they call a slap and fold. So just plop your dough, try to get as much out of that pot, or not pot. Try to get as much of the dough out of that bowl And then so what we're gonna do, slap and fold. It gets quite loud. Slap and fold. And the more you do this, the more you notice that it's gonna get easier to manage. Now we wanna try to do this for at least 5 minutes. Okay, let's just give it one more slap. Slap and fold. All right, now take your bowl, put your dough back. Try to get as much off of your fingers. Wash your hands. Okay, so now that you have it in the bowl, we're gonna then put it in a bag. So we're gonna put this in the bag and we're just gonna tie it up. Voila. All right, so now that you have your dough in a bag and it's all tied up, it doesn't have to be super tight, you just wanna make sure you tied it up. We're gonna put it in the refrigerator and usually we wanna keep it in there for about 12 to 24 hours. I usually just wait until 12 hours or when it's a little bit convenient for me to start the next process, which is going to take about 4 hours. But yeah, we'll get there once our dough's ready. So let's put this in the refrigerator and then I will meet you again tomorrow for the third phase of the process. Talk to you soon. Hi everyone, welcome back. It is the next day. It's been at least 13 hours since we last spoke and that is how long the dough has been sitting in the refrigerator. So let's take it out and we'll finish up the rest of the steps. All right, so we have our dough. We took it out of the refrigerator and out of the bag. You wanna make sure you have like a spoonful of flour because we are going to dust a very clean counter space where you're gonna plop your dough onto. So let's go ahead and do that. Just enough to give it a light coating. And then you might want to put some on your hands because you are gonna need to take this dough out. It's probably going to still be a little bit sticky, but definitely not as sticky as when you first put it in the bowl. All right, look how pretty she is. So now we're gonna cover the dough with a kitchen towel and we're gonna let it rest for about 30 minutes.
All right. Who likes Kevin Hart? Comment down below.
Okay, so it's been 30 minutes. Your dough probably looks like it got a bit bigger. She looks so pretty. For 300 grams, I like to split it in half and do individual sized pizzas. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna take my bread scraper and just split it in half. All right, so I'm gonna put this to the side and then we're gonna do the same thing. Right here, can you see how pretty that is? The last step to this all is letting it rest and rise for 2 to 4 hours. Sounds really long, but it is so worth it in the end. Then we're gonna move our pretty doughs to this. Make sure to give it some space in between because it is going to expand. This is pretty much it. We're gonna go ahead and cover this with a cloth once again. Actually, we're not, because you know why? I forgot to flour the top. So we're gonna go ahead and flour it pretty heavily on top. And then now we can cover it. So we're gonna cover it and then let it rest for 2 to 4 hours. I'm personally doing it for 4 hours, and then we'll reconnect. Okay, my friends, so now you are done. We now have sourdough pizza dough to work with. You can start baking at this point in time, or you can keep it in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days, or you can keep it in the freezer for up to 3 to 4 months, which is really nice. It's always nice to have pizza dough handy, right? Anyways, I had a great time showing you this entire process, and I look forward for the next video. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and then I'll see you soon.